That's good. Welcome back to another podcast, everyone. The only thing that matters in life is you, pretty well, because the world revolves around you. That's right. Today's recommended read, everyone. Today's recommended read is a book that I read probably coming up on a year ago now, and it's called Discipline is Destiny. Ryan Holiday. In this book, he goes over the power of self-control, the Stoic virtues. All says it on the front there. Let's read the blurb. Courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. A powerful case for the virtues and values that leaders must live by in the modern world. Right. Self-discipline. Nothing is possible without it. If we're not in control of our emotions, our urges, our habits, where will we end up? In mediocrity and regret. From elite athletes to great artists to heads of state, the most important battles in history have always been with the self. Winning is essential. It determines what we can do. It determines who we are. Discipline is destiny. Do you have it? A brisk and absorbing read. Anne Duke, best-selling author of Thinking in Bets. So yeah, when I was reading this book, he does go over, there's a bit about the Queen Elizabeth in there and a few other things. So he just goes over like their stories and, you know, their discipline. Good book, worth the read. That's today's recommended read, everyone. Hope you're all having a good Friday. It's Friday at the moment, and we're getting into another podcast. Thought I'd have a drink. I went away on that West Coast trip I was talking about in the previous episode. You're going to have to give me 2 minutes. I'm going to keep this episode short, though. Keeping this episode short, everyone. I had to turn the camera preview screen on because I get a bit weird just looking at the camera. I'm not sure. I just feel like it's not on or something. Yeah, so we got today's recommended read out of the way. What have I been up to? The West Coast trip that I was talking about in the previous episode that went on for an hour. That was filmed a couple of days before I went on that trip, so it feels like it's been ages since I've actually done another podcast, but I'm still uploading weekly at least. For anyone that is tuning in and watching, West Coast trip was pretty fun. I've got a few clips I wanted to show everyone, which I'll probably do now with you guys, just so you can kind of see. Let's switch over to the computer here, straight into it. Well, hello everyone. Had to turn the Hilux around. It's down there. Had to back the trailer through this whole narrow track up through here. Everyone keeps getting bogged down here, and the campsite that we're going to is underwater, apparently. I haven't seen it because I was behind everyone, so I didn't even bother going through this bog hole. It's just sand, really. One of the guys just went past me. I think he's fed up and he just wants to go to bed, so he doesn't give a fuck about anyone else. So he's just heading off, and now I don't know who the fuck anyone else is, but I'm just walking down this track. Down here, I think I can hear him. So go down here and see if they got the Land Cruiser out yet. This other guy, yeah, he just fucked off. He couldn't give a fuck. He wants to go set up his tent and go to fucking sleep. Don't blame him though, to be honest with you. Fucking overweighting for fucking everyone as well. You know? Not fun. But yeah. So yeah, that's just me. That was the first night we got there. We didn't end up setting up our tents till 1:30 in the morning. I think I got to bed around 2. I was just grabbing some chocolate before. Went to bed around 2 because we ended up trying to go to this other camp spot and it was underwater apparently. I didn't go up and see it because I never took my car through the bog. I never got bogged. So everyone else was just going through the sand and it's real soft sand, so they're all sinking and we were just stuffing around for hours trying to get out, which we did eventually. Yeah, so that was just a clip of me walking back from my car. What I'll do here is get rid of that, and then I want to bring up another one. Just check here. She gets up and going. Yeah, I don't know if that's choppy for you guys or anything, but yeah, this is move it over there. It's a straight 6, not a straight 6 Land Cruiser.
VA Land Cruiser pulling out. 4.2 Land Cruiser. Oh, this is going to sound sick. Shit, there's a winch point. Easy done. Nice. Hey, serious? Look at that Land Cruiser just sitting there like that.
This is the start of the day on the bike. Just down the track here a little bit, old mate bends the front drive shaft or something on his buggy. That's why we pulled up here. And it lasted the rest of the day, but the next day came home a day earlier because it pretty much full bent in half. But what I'll do is, this is the last video. See old mate's tyre, just full blown sunk into the sand. Skip through this. This is pretty much what the West Coast looks like, everyone. This is where we cook up all the Savloys.
I better have one, I guess. Otherwise everyone will be off their fucking head and I'll just be wondering what's wrong with everyone.
No better trip, I tell ya.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was being responsible. So I was going for a bottle of water because I knew I was a bit dehydrated before I jumped on the beers. But that was just non-alcoholic beer because we were all driving and on motorbikes. So yeah, that's just a little disclaimer there for you. So yeah, that's went and got that trip out of the way. That was one of the best trips I've been on for a long time. It's really fun. I can't wait for the next one. Yeah, it's all about making memories, you know. Having fun, I guess. But at the end of the day, if you die a poor broke person on the side of the road begging for change, or a millionaire living the dream, you'll never remember it anyway. So, you know, everyone keeps saying, oh, the only time you make memories for is to look back on when you're older and you can't actually do those things physically anymore. That's the only thing you make memories for. And then eventually you die, and the people that have those memories with you die off, and the people that remember you die off, and then you're just part of history and no one actually remembers you or your name or what you did. And that's how life goes, everyone. Not trying to be a downer or anything, you just got to be completely honest with yourself. Sometimes just completely honest with yourself, and that is just the fact. Do you remember your ancestors, like 10, you know, your 10th, whatever it is, like, you know, your dad's 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 dad. No one, I don't even know my dad's dad's dad. So, you know, no one gives a fuck about you after a good 150 years. No one remembers you, who you are, what you did. And even some people out there that did change the world and everything, like, in their own right, people don't remember, you know. Like, you either got to be like a full-blown serial killer, or someone that killed that serial killer, or you bombed someone, or you're Hitler, you know. So, not everyone's going to be remembered, and you just got to come to peace with that, I think, because that's how it is. It's how it is. What you can do, be the best person you can be, and the best version of yourself while you're on the planet. That's the goal, everyone. That's what we're pushing to do. And, yeah. What's everyone else been up to? No one leaves any comments, but I know that one day, if anyone does start watching these videos, you possibly will. So let me know what you guys have been up to in the last week in the comments. Something fun you've been doing. Did your missus break up with you? Did you just get married? Let me know what's going on in your life. Whether it's positive or negative, there's always a lesson to be learnt. More so on the negative side. Like I said before in a previous podcast, the only lesson to be learnt from having a fun time is that you want to have more fun times. And when I look back on the weekend that's just gone, all I want to do is do that again and have another fun time like that. That's all I learnt about that weekend, that I really enjoyed the fun. And I want to do it again. That's the only lesson you'll ever learn from having fun and good times. So sadly, all the lessons that build character and experience and everything are, shit experiences. They're shit experiences and times to go through. But after years of analysing them and looking over them and everything and taking what you can and like actually saying, or, you know, learning the lessons from it and, you know, moving forward and everything, you realise like that's when they become not shit times. Like, you know that when it was happening was shit, but now it's not shit because you've got gained so much from it. So how could it have been shit? Dunno. All right, switch on. All right, you got to be on another level to understand what I'm talking about. You know? So, yeah. Let's read a page. All right, let's read a page out of Discipline is Destiny. All right, dress for success. There's no numbered chapters in this, so this is the first page I opened to. Angela Merkel grew up in East Germany before the fall of communism. Basic luxuries were not available. Informers made it clear that it was best not to stand out for anything, especially for how one dressed. In 1990, she entered politics, emerging from behind the Berlin Wall and the insular world of academia, where she had worked for many years as a quantum chemist. Suddenly, all sorts of attention was paid to how she looked, much to Merkel's surprise. When one political advisor attempted to encourage her to improve her style, Merkel was mortified. In Eastern Bloc countries, one simply did not do such things, yet a politician must do such things, especially as the double standard dictates a female politician. A reporter once inquired by Merkel was so often seen in the same pantsuit. "Don't you have anything else? I'm a civil servant," Merkel replied, "not a model." Yet she is also savvy enough to refer to politics as a show, and she has decided to put on an unusual one. She dresses plainly. She ignores trendy or expensive designers. She favours comfortable shoes. She kept her boxy haircut. She showed up at the office or on television most days, just as God made her. No makeup, ready to work. It's a simple look, but always professional, always proper. There's a joke that both critics and fans of Merkel like to tell. What does Merkel do with her old clothes? She wears them. Sorry, everybody, right there. Don't know why I shut that. Because I wanted to kind of go over that a little bit. It's funny, you know, like a lot of the times how you dress is how you're perceived. That's why they call it dress for success. Because you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into. You could be at the supermarket and run into your ex-girlfriend and you dress like a homeless person. You know? You could be on a trip around the world and all of a sudden Donald Trump is walking past you or something. Like, I don't know. Something crazy, you know, or someone, you know, that you admire or you'd like to get to know, and then you dress like a absolute sheep and you try to go say hi to that person. They're like, oh, because they first perceive you as some brokey homie. I don't know, brokey homeless person. You know? And it's like, mainly, I'm not really fussed because, I mean, I don't really care what anyone else thinks of myself. Like, I'm just, and I think that's what everyone should be like. But like, I guess it depends what kind of line of work. I mean, you're not going to be a car salesman. I've got a mate that's a car salesman. You're not going to turn up there with just a plain ass shirt, a couple of flip flops, and like sell many cars, because people are just going to look at you like, oh, is this a guy that's in here buying a car? Like, you know, like he doesn't work here, surely. So I guess you dress appropriately for the scene, and yeah, you don't always have to be in a suit. I'm not saying that. Like, me, most of the time I get around the clothes I'm wearing right now. I'm a tradie, you know, live out in the country mostly. Don't really feel the need or anything to do that. So you dress to what your life kind of calls for, I guess. And if you're homeless, well, you're going to dress like a homeless person, are you? So I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like, yeah, if you're in a certain line of work, people are going to expect you to dress a certain way, otherwise you're going to be frowned upon, and that's what was happening to her and everything, and that's why they come up with that joke or that saying, what does Merkel do with her old clothes? She wears them. Well, I wear my old clothes, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually funny, like, when I was younger, I used to hate the fact that I had to buy Kmart clothes because they were cheaper. Kmart school bag, Kmart lunchbox. But now that I'm older, Kmart's the shit, man. I think the only reason that I was like that as a kid is because friends and other people, like the kids at school and everything, like you're in school, and especially high school, like you know, like everyone else's parents are spending the money on their kids and they're just all rocking these cool shoes or branded clothes or whatever, or cool school bags and everything, and then you're rocking up in your duct taped up Kmart flip-flops or flats. And it's back then, it's, you know, you feel embarrassed and you feel like, oh, I can't. But now I'm like, who gives a fuck? You know? These jeans I'm wearing are from Kmart. It's cheap, they do the same thing. You know? And that's what everyone nowadays is just chasing the brands. Like, yeah, I've got nice jackets and everything, but like, it's because the jacket's nice. Like, you know, you've got a nice vest, nice bone dry vest. Who cares about the brand? Like, it's as if it's the right one, you know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know how to explain stuff. It's all in my head, but especially all these, like, yeah, you can't get caught up just blowing all your money on all these branded clothing companies and everything online. Just take what you need, get what you need. But you know, most of the time I'm just wearing either like a jumper that I've, you know, got a business logo on or something, or some Kmart jeans, man, and some work boots. Pretty simple, easy stuff for me. I don't know how people would work in an office job. I've thought about it, whether I'd do it in the past, but never really fully committed to it, and I'm glad I haven't, and I never will, because I just feel like being a tradie now, being in construction and working with my hands and everything is just part of who you are, and you know, it just becomes part of you. So it's fairly hard to get out of. And that's another thing I was going to talk about, the my business. I've been calling around a lot trying to get a subby gig somewhere for someone, or, you know, if anyone needs any hand with work or whatnot. I've been trying to, well, yesterday I spent the day going around giving out free hats or merch and whatnot to people. You know, if I'd see that they were home or they were in their driveway or whatever, I'd walk up and say hi, tell them what I do, and just, you know, give them a bit of merch and just represent myself and everything. And so tell your friends, give them a few business cards and whatnot. You feel like you're begging for work, but you got to kind of do everything under the sun to try and get off the ground as a small business, and, you know, trying to make it happen. So we'll see if anything comes from that. Anything. I've even called up companies in Queensland, on the Gold Coast up there. This my old man spent 10 years up there when he was younger working on the high rises. And I know that surely someone up there would have like a subby, or they'd take on subbies and whatnot, but it seems to be fairly rare as well. And I think that's because today most companies just, well, you know, like, everyone's just employed. All these big companies, they've just employed all their own carpenters and everything. So being a subcontractor builder is like near impossible. That's why they call like electricians, plumbers, plasterers, tilers, they're all subbies. You're the principal contractor, like you're the main contractor. You're the one that's meant to have all the work that all the subcontractors come and do. You know, like, well, you're the one that's meant to have all the houses and everything, but I don't, and it's really hard to kind of get into that area and score a bunch of work to make it worth it. So yeah, taking that step's a bit of a leap, a bit of a struggle. It's like, I guess all you need is just one job, but you need to be backed with a bit of cash as well. And I don't know, I think there is just a line where you just got to kind of either go back and work for someone else, or jump the line and just throw everything you got into it, and if all else fails, I mean, the worst case scenario is that you end up working for someone else anyway. you know? So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes, though, everyone. We'll see how that goes. Not sure. Once again, I didn't really have a topic I wanted to talk about today, per se. Just wanted to kind of catch up myself, because I feel like that's all I'm doing. Just catching up myself on the podcast. Keeping it happening. Those that will watch, will watch. So I hope you're enjoying the bullshit and talking and everything once again. Yeah. What else? I don't know. Just got to keep it happening. Just got to keep it happening, everyone. Can't linger in the can't linger in the shit for too long. Otherwise, it starts to take you over. And it just gradually gets harder and harder to operate. Been watching a show, The Trailer Park Boys. It's actually funny as most funny show I've ever seen. It's got to be, I love it. Watch a couple episodes a day. And I just like watching a show that kind of just, it's not a serious show, you know, it's pretty much they've made a joke out of something, and it's a cool little escape just to, you know, and it makes me feel like, oh, you know, not taking life too serious, because some days you feel like, you know, everything's going to shit because you're just stressing out about everything when like nothing really matters. You're just a little ant on planet Earth. What was I watching? Just had a thought. Yeah. My old man was watching like the moon landing the other day, and one of the astronauts was looking out of the window. It's like a documentary, so the real footage of it and everything, apparently. And he's like, just looking at Earth from way up here, just makes you realise how small and insignificant your problems are. And to have that kind of perspective on your own life, you know, it's definitely a good thing. I always wondered how, like, astronauts, like, it's like, oh, like, you wouldn't want to do it if you were scared of heights, but then, like, you're never really high anywhere, are you? Because, I mean, you're not falling. If you're outside of the spacecraft or whatever, you're not falling anywhere. You're floating. You can't fall. It's that initial kind of getting to outer space and re-entering, like, that's the only sketchy part. But you pretty much got this big ass jet pushing you to outer space, so you're only in the air and you're in a big box anyway, so you might as well just want an aeroplane. So I wonder, could you be an astronaut if you were scared of heights? I don't know. I don't think you could, because you're looking down at the planet, and if you don't have the right mentality or the way you look at it, you're there like, fuck, you know, like, look how fucking high I am off the planet. I don't know. I don't think I'd always just been thinking, like, I wonder if I'd be freaking out if I was up there. I don't think I would be. Because, I mean, it's not like you can fall. And if you're re-entering on purpose. I've done skydiving before as well, so I mean, I've jumped out of an aeroplane. Man, that's worse than getting in a big rocket and getting boosted out to outer space. I think it's just the unknown and just the fact that you are so far away from home if something were to go wrong. That's what'd get me. So I do a bit of scuba diving as well. Haven't really done it in a while. Mainly just snorkeling, but I've got my scuba ticket, and I know when I did my scuba ticket, the on the training day and everything, you had to go down to 18 meters, I think it was. 18 meters, so that's the deepest I've ever been in the ocean. Remember, I went down, and then you're meant to come up 5 meters at a time to and then stop to equalize, and then just keep going up. Otherwise, you get the bends if you come up too fast and then lungs explode or something. So, I was doing that, but and you have a BCD, buoyancy control device, which is just a vest that you wear, and you inflate it a little bit just to bob up a little bit in the water, and that's how you come up. I inflated mine, but I wasn't moving, so I inflated a little bit more. Wasn't moving, and then I just started shooting to the top, and I'm there doing this, fucking trying to slow it down. Before I knew it, couldn't see shit because bubbles were everywhere in my face, and before I knew it, I was at the surface. And yeah, I don't know, I didn't get anything from it, but yeah, some sketchy shit. And I've always thought, well, these people doing wreck dives at 60 meters and whatnot, right, you're down there and one of your hoses just get caught on something, or I mean, you've got a backup, you've got a res or whatever it's called, backup, fucking breathing thing, a yellow thing. It's got a yellow. So if that one fucks up or cuts, you got the other one. It's still your air runs out, or just something fucky, man. Anything fucky can happen, and you're 60 meters under fucking water. I don't think I'll ever do it. Especially when the last time I went down to 18 meters, I put some fucking air in my BCD and it nearly tried to kill me. Don't know. Coming up from 60 meters would be a fairly different story, I reckon, if you fucking came up a bit too quick. Turn into a puffer fish and pop. I do think, and you only got so much time on the planet, and it'd be so cool to do all these things. I was reading that book with Ant Middleton the other day. He's climbed Mount Everest, but I just feel like I wouldn't be able to do that. So I just feel like my body wouldn't cope with the altitude sickness. My ears already have trouble equalizing and everything. It's just, I'd end up a fucking mess. I'd end up fucking dying. But then I've looked at these other ones that aren't as serious, like Mount Kilimanjaro or whatever. I remember reading these Geronimo Stilton books when I was a kid. It's about this mouse, and he goes on all these adventures and whatnot, and that's one of the ones that he did. He went and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and that was one of my favourite ones. And I've seen that Ant Middleton's doing that, or he's climbed it, or he's climbing it soon with it on an expedition or something with a bunch of people. And it'd be cool, suss out how much it costs and everything, and go on something like that, because life's all about adventure, and nothing makes you feel more alive than just going and doing stuff, that's outside and just getting away from all the BS of real, all the technicalities, all the taxes, all the income, the money, how much you earn, or, just get away from all that, and it's just you and the great outdoors, man. And this weekend, just going down there on the bikes and everything, even that is just really makes you feel like you just got nothing to worry about for a weekend, It's good. So yeah, might look into something like that in the future. I like just anything that could be a challenge, that you kind of just work up to it. train a little bit, like, because Mount Kilimanjaro, that's still a fairly decent hike, fairly decent climb. I don't think it's as deadly as, it's nowhere near as deadly as Mount Everest, though. I don't even think it's snowy. I don't know. But yeah, suss that out. Won't be any time soon, though, I don't reckon, because I want to get business on track a little bit. Got a few things I need to get done in the real world. And yeah. Don't want to keep everyone for too much longer here today on this podcast. We've been running for 36 minutes. Thanks for watching, everyone. The Discipline is Destiny, Ryan Holiday's book. That's the recommended read for today. And we're going to head off right now. I'm going to finish this succulent beer, have a bit more chocolate. Nothing really on the books today. Just send a few emails, do a bit of book work. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. We will see you next week once again.